Welcome to Michigan Reimagined, a spotlight podcast. And here's your host, Chris Buck.
So many companies are clamoring for enough talent to meet their production goals. One strategy that I've advocated for is to develop a reputation as a great employer, nationally if possible. And here to discuss what makes one mid-Michigan-based accounting firm special place to work is the strategy and innovation driver for Maner Costerisan, Miss Sarah Jennings. Welcome to the show, Sarah.
Thanks so much, Chris. I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful. So Maner Costerisan is a company. What exactly do you do? What services do you provide?
We're a traditional CPA firm, but we go above and beyond that. So we do a lot of advisory services, consulting services around how to grow and how to run your business or nonprofit even better.
Is that right? Okay, so you do specialize in nonprofits. Is there other clients that you tend to attract? Is there a wheelhouse? I don't know if, or is it big businesses, small businesses, individuals?
It's a stretch to say we serve everybody, right? Because you can't, but we do have a team of over 150 people. So within that, we have smaller groups and teams that really do focus on a variety of different industries, from restaurants to manufacturing organizations. We have over 400 nonprofit organizations. We really definitely invest in that as well.
Got it. Okay. And you're headquartered here in the Lansing region, is that right?
We've been here for over 100 years. We also have an office in Grand Rapids, but as you know, over the last, as time goes, there's more and more virtual, more and more remote team members all over the state, all over the country.
Got it. Okay. So I was wondering what kind of footprint you serve. So do you serve people out of state and coast to coast, or is it more of a Midwest thing? Or
mostly Midwest. I'd say most of our clients certainly are in the Michigan area, but as I know, a lot of businesses have seen, that geographical footprint doesn't matter as much as it used to. I mean, Clearly we still make relationships. Everything's about relationships. So the more we can be in the communities, that helps. But you can do audit work, you can do accounting work from across the world at this point.
That's exactly right. I mean, even, in a similar manner, speaking, my financial planner is out of Baltimore, Maryland, right? Yeah. Because I moved around the country quite a bit and left him behind, and he's certainly able, even pre-pandemic, to serve my needs from afar. So I totally get how professional services don't need to be eyeball to eyeball as much as they used to be.
Right. We've definitely learned how to build and maintain relationships over a screen.
Right. Exactly. And via, and scanning documents and DocuSign and PDFs and all that kind of stuff. Screen sharing. I mean, it really is a very almost personalized service. So that's great. So, you mentioned 100 years. So tell me, I don't think I caught that. How long ago did you get founded as a company?
Yeah, over 100 years, and it's ebbed and flowed through a lot of growth in recent years, mergers, acquisitions of different types of companies. We have a technology department that services both infrastructure for organizations as well as accounting software, some programming to make sure, I'm not the tech side, so I can say we're like in the middle, so we can make the different softwares talk to each other. Kind of the easy button is what we do with those folks over there. But
got it. Okay. And I have to ask, where'd the name come from? Maner Costerisan.
Last names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of the founders?
Yep. Our founders. Yeah. Yep.
Got it. Okay.
We did have Ellis years ago, and Ellis, very important, very wonderful man. And, for branding purposes, really, we shrunk it. Costerisan's hard enough to say, but when you keep adding last names to it, it gets a bit more cumbersome.
Right. Understood. So, and the growth trajectory, have you been growing, kind of leaps and bounds? Tell me a little bit about that and how has that happened?
Yeah, absolutely. The industry itself, all accounting firms really have been growing. When there's more federal and state dollars out there, clients, organizations, nonprofits, small businesses, everybody needs that assistance in those advisory services. We've seen a huge growth in that, just the consulting side of things. We have certainly merged in different types of firms. We do wealth management, wealth advising as well. So those are some of the things that we've grown, both by merging in and starting new initiatives.
Got it. Mm-hmm. So as I mentioned in the intro, many employers are struggling to find enough talent. And with that kind of growth, the pressure's always got to be on to recruit talent. And getting just a warm body, then you can sometimes dilute your brand's standards, right? So it's this fine line of getting really good top quality talent to keep your reputation strong, but having enough people to get the jobs done. How have you fared that overall, have you been able to find the talent you're looking for?
We're always hiring great talent, right?
Yep.
I mean, you can never have enough of wonderful people, and we really feel like we do have a great base. We hire probably 20-ish interns every single year.
Wow.
Most of them, we work really hard to work with them, provide training, provide shadowing opportunities so they see what their future could look like. It's not just sitting behind a computer and calculating debits and credits every day or, processing tax returns. There's way more than that. So we work hard even beyond that. I mean, we have programs where we start with freshmen, sophomores in college, and we work with them, bring them in to teach them about accounting. The accounting industry is like many, with the generational gaps and the bubbles hitting, there's a whole lot of work out there, and there's a whole lot of people that are moving on to retirement or moving on to whatever their next life is. So all of us are trying to figure out, how do we explain how exciting accounting really can be.
Right. That's funny. When you talk about just sitting in front of a computer doing debits and credits, that's kind of my own personal hell. I mean, people are built to do certain things, and I've known lots of people who do that role exceedingly well, and it's exactly what they're meant to do. Mm-hmm. It's not me.
and there are people that do enjoy that in our office and out, but most of us, that isn't our life anyway. That's just a stereotypical accountant. We don't do that. We're out with our clients. We're talking. We're trying to help them solve problems. Our mission is to help others achieve and reach their potential. You can't do that just from behind a screen doing debits and credits. I mean, we are much more collaborative than I think we used to be thought of.
That's great. And that's got to be the value add, right? Because anyone can count numbers and say you forgot to carry the 7 or, this you misaligned this or whatever, but it's the personal touch. And so an accountant with a personality.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay, good. So being a great employer, I mentioned, and so you've recently received accolades, and it's not your first time. Talk to us a little bit about the notoriety you've just achieved.
That's true. I mean, we're very proud to be named as top employers and places people want to work. A lot of those are surveys that our own team members are filling out. So it's really feels good. And we're very proud that they want to refer others. We've got programs within the firm where you can refer a friend. And it's so great to hear people wanting to bring others along to the company. That means that they're valued, they're feeling the value, and they know why they're there. It's not just to get a paycheck, right? They're there to help our clients. Again, going back to our mission, which we talk about all the time, is to help others reach their potential. When we talk about it, it's not just for our clients. Clearly, that's our main goal, but we also have a ton of professional development for our individuals within the firm. We work really hard to make sure that whatever their passions are, as long as there's a great business case, how it's good for Maner, good for them, we support them when we let them pursue those things.
Got it. Okay. So open that up a little bit. What kinds of, give me an example of what you would let an employee go do that they're passionate about.
Yeah, I'll use myself as an example. Actually,
Okay.
I started in the audit department years and years ago, and I also wasn't one that just wanted to look backwards and report on financial statements that happened last year. I wanted to do something different. I looked, and I had one of my clients actually, committed fraud. After the fact, I had talked to her, and I just felt personally like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this person did that.
Right.
Well, I made a business plan, and I said to Maner, I want to start a local chapter of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. I think we need to do more risk assessments, more litigation support, more forensic services, because we need to stop fraud across the globe. Make the business case, and we're doing it still today. We have a team that is doing this now. So I think, that's one example of many. There's different industries. The cannabis industry is another one. We had a business case. One of our team members, Tim Adams, and a whole team that he works with, put it together. This is why we need to provide support. There's a whole industry of people that just need resources, and they need somebody to guide them.
And everyone else is saying no, right?
Right,
Because,
exactly.
Right. Yep.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Okay. And I would tell you, my long career in private sector business was all very steeped philosophically in hiring and retaining and supporting phenomenal employees. And that's where it all begins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you have happy employees, they're more likely to deliver great customer service on your behalf than if you treat them like garbage and then tell them to deliver good customer service, right?
Right.
And then if you have happy employees dealing with happy customers, then, the growth and profits and all that kind of stuff are a byproduct of your investing in that first phase. And it sounds like you have that too, right? So it's about hiring and retaining great talent. It's about giving them a voice, making sure that they're heard, and you're getting the rewards from that, right? So
right,
you're
and just fostering that culture.
Right.
Like we are a family. We're in it to make our communities better, not just in our office walls better. Coming up, we have our Maner Costerisan Cares. We've been doing this for about, a few years now, 5 years or so. This will be our 5th year, but We go out into the community. We've given back. Like I said, we have over 400 nonprofits. So clearly that's a large part of our culture in giving back. But we also volunteer. We give back to the community. And now we shut down for the day and we go out and we use it for team development. We use it so people can give back as one Maner family.
Yep.
It's my favorite day of the year is our Day of Impact. So the first Thursday of every November. But
okay, so that's coming up.
Yeah.
For those listening, whenever you choose to listen to this podcast, we're recording this in early November, so that's coming right up. And I was going to ask, because your website really does have a lot of forward-leaning, philanthropy, giving back, Maner Cares, all that kind of stuff. So that sometimes you can feel that that's window dressing when you look through other companies, and other times you can really feel the authenticity behind that. And I can think in my mind of a handful of places that really do it for the right reasons. And I definitely got that impression from your site as well.
Oh, thank you. Definitely we do.
That's great. So, does everyone scatter and go help out different causes, or is there a certain theme for this particular year? Or
we've done it different ways. The first year, I think we were at over 20 different organizations throughout the state. That we kind of looked at our client footprint throughout Michigan and planted people all over the place. One year, we were in the office making food packets that were then distributed all over. One year we made a bunch of blankets that could go, again, all over. We focus on trying to get teams together because, again, we want to make sure it's the Maner family, team building, and kind of using it as everything. This year we are doing a lot of financial education. We're working with Junior Achievement is some food bank we've worked with, really trying to work with social and societal organizations that can help.
Got it. Okay. So another phrase that I read when I was doing research for this said, creating a positive, cool, and inclusive workplace. And I think that's great because you hear a lot of, DIA, right? Diversity. I'm blanking here.
Inclusion,
Yes, right. Diversity, equity, inclusion, right? DEI, right? So, and that's a buzzword. And again, you can tell who's doing it to go through the motions and who's doing it sincerely, but positive, cool, and inclusive workspace. And the inclusive side had its own chapter as I was navigating to kind of do research for this. So clearly that moral compass is pointed in the right direction, but I haven't used the positive and cool. I haven't seen that in print before. And I think that's fantastic because, again, those are really authentic words that are going to resonate with me. So how does Maner keep it positive and cool as a public accounting firm?
Right. Yeah, cool. My son is 12 and he certainly would not say that I'm cool, but we do try to make sure that we're always listening to the team. It's not from a top down, this is how we're going to do anything. We listen to the team, what they want to do. We've got kickball teams. We have, flag football teams. We have basketball teams in the winter. So we really try to engage all sorts of things. We have groups that go to the symphony, like you and I were talking earlier, go to Wharton Center. So we try to be inclusive of all different interests that people have. We also, over the last few years, have started some staff advisory groups to make sure that we have open communication. We've had open door policies for years and years and years. We have all sorts of programs where the staff go to lunch with the partners to make sure that we're, keeping our ears open. But communication, society, all of the things continue to change. So we're trying to find additional ways to listen. How do we make sure that people feel comfortable in telling us what we're doing wrong? We know we don't know everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
We bring consultants in to help identify areas that we're missing or we're not doing things right. And I think just the fact that we're open to all of that feedback is one of the ways that we're inclusive and we're cool and we're a hip place to be.
Right. So how do you prepare generationally? I mean, how many people are in your partnership or like the leadership team, the executive leadership? Where's the tip of the spear? How many people are they? And how close are they to retirement? And how are they preparing to kind of scale that down? Because that message needs to live, right? And survive.
Right. And I think our age, I should say, I shouldn't say age. I'm not going to say any ages, but we have people that graduated college last year and we have people that are retiring in December or, so they're a broad gamut of people. And I think because of the way that we're structured, we really try to tier everything. We have people that are in leadership pathways from 3 years on, they're managers. So they're ingrained into the culture. So it's not just that you're going to lose anything with the person that's walking out the door in December. It's already been communicated, and we do that on a regular basis. We, years ago, I can't remember how many years we've been doing this, but we have annual meetings where we bring everybody together, and we were able to be back in person this year.
Okay.
So it was fun to see everybody together. I remember when I first started, one of the partners said, "It's so great. It makes me feel young to have so many young people." And now I'm on the other end of the spectrum, so I'm clearly not the young one, but I see what he means now. Like
Right.
we have all of this energy and these people in the room that are so different, and they're teaching us every single day how to be better people, how to streamline things, how to think innovatively outside of the box on what we should be offering and how we should be doing things. So it's something that I think is just ingrained in our culture to continue to listen and be open.
Got it. Well, it's all evidence, and I don't think we really hit the nail completely on the head. So you did recently receive an accolade for being one of the top employers in your field, correct?
Correct.
Remind me who bestowed that honor upon you. Do you recall with publication?
Accounting Today.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
And that's fantastic. And you've done that a couple of years, right? I mean, you've been in that top kind of 25 recognized great employers.
We have, and I think it's a testament to the family that we've built, the culture that we've grown. And, you know, it is funny, we're regional, but
Yep.
we also are part of something bigger, right? We're part of all of our clients and how they interact in the community. So I think even though we've got 160 people and we've got a large office in Lansing and a smaller one in Grand Rapids, we touch all throughout Michigan. We do school district audits up to Traverse City. You know,
Okay.
we're very ingrained in every aspect of the community.
So you must have a pretty robust HR and recruiting team.
We do.
And are
Yep.
they scouring like college campuses? You mentioned you get people even coming in on internships as freshmen and sophomore summers and stuff to kind of plant the seed and bring them along so they get a running start if they decide to join you.
We do. We have a great recruiting team, and we also engage a lot of our newer staff, our less seasoned staff, so that
Yep.
all of the recruits and the people that we're talking to can really talk to a person and not just the HR team. You know, these are
Right.
people that are in the trenches, that are doing the work every day, so they can ask real questions. We do a lot of job shadowing. We do a lot of interviews with mock interviews,
Yep.
mock interviews with different schools also. And then, like I said, that leadership day where we bring them to the office in the spring, these are freshmen, sophomore that, you know, they're not looking for a job just yet. We're just bringing them in to show what a cool place it is.
Right. And the transparency behind that, the no shock, you know, I get hired under this pretense and now I'm here and it just feels different than what I was told in the interviews or what I've read online and that kind of stuff. That really matters. I think I've seen a lot of not a lot of companies, great companies do that. Right. And getting people to really engage with your less tenured employees so they can say, here's why it's great and here are the great things that happens. When I have a bad day, it tends to look like this, but here's how I tend to get through it. And, you know, if you tick the corner of a calendar on your day planner, with, you know, dating myself a little bit, you're going to have a heck of a lot more positive days than negative days. And there's support there and training and continuing ed and all the, you know, philanthropy that you do. So that's great. And if you can develop a reputation for that, it just becomes kind of a flywheel where people in college are just like, I know where I'm going when I graduate, if they'll let me in, if I'm good enough for them, kind of a thing.
Right. Exactly.
And that's really the position you want to be in when you're looking for talent. So, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer this, but I was just curious, is that kind of Maner energy and passion and everything we've been talking about, do you feel like the company's kind of always had that style, or was there a time when maybe someone or like circumstances made the company downshift into that real employee-centric mode?
I think it's definitely evolved. I think we've always, since I've been there over 20 years, so I think that we have been evolving the entire time as the world has, right? Over the last 3 years since the pandemic hit, I think every single employer did take a look and say, okay, what are we doing? Are we doing it the right way? And then the ones that are on top are the ones that are listening to what the team's saying. So that we're asking the team, this is a silly example, but from a stodgy old partner's perspective, when I started, we were suits. It was business professional every single day. Today, we have sneakers. And sometimes that takes me aback and I think, holy smokes, what are we doing? But then we're making our team members more effective because they can be comfortable in what they're doing. And, you know, at the end of the day, we have a great work product. We have great relationships with our clients. That's what matters. And we want our team to be successful in that way.
Got it. Well, nothing about you has been stodgy from my from the last 15 minutes or so that we've had. So no, but everyone I think has done that, right? I mean, we were definitely suits and ties and all that stuff forever. And even at the company that I used to be at where that was just the law, they've modernized facial hair, visible tattoos, all the stuff that was totally taboo is now very welcome. And I think the world is turning that way. So that's great.
I mean, when I started, there was, a female partner in our entire 20 plus
Right,
partner
yeah, the
group.
gender
And now
thing
we've
too,
got
right.
4 female partners. So, I mean, even it's hard for newer team members to look up and say, well, I don't see me. You hear that in
Yeah.
every single industry. If you don't see me, how do you, progress? How do you make sure that you're moving forward? And I think that's one example where we have moved forward. We are making efforts and we are making strides.
Right on. Okay, good. So for the listeners who might be energized by this conversation and maybe not as satisfied with their firm that they're currently using, what's your kind of quick value proposition to those listeners, and how can they get in touch with Maner Costerisan to set an appointment to learn more about your services?
Absolutely. There's always a contact form on manercpa.com. Social media, Facebook, Twitter, we have LinkedIn. We have lots of ways to reach out. Our recruiting team is always looking on there. So if you just send a message, we're open.
Got it. And then the same place for prospective employees, people that are sitting here saying, wow, that's exactly where I think I want to work based on what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
They can go, this is manercpa.com.
manercpa.com. Yep.
Fantastic.
Pretty easy to remember.
Wonderful. Well, it's been really exciting to have you here. We've been talking to the strategy and innovation driver for Maner Costerisan, Sarah Jennings. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks so much.